Hello, Newburg. Pastor Steve here with another edition of our Monday Minute for February the 8th of 2021. I hope that everybody had a great Super Bowl celebration, if that's what you were doing yesterday. And we look forward to what the month of February has to offer us here as we wind down one season and as we get ready for the season of Lent. A couple of reminders. The first one is to join us tomorrow evening here on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. for our February Town Hall. We'll be taking opportunity to go over our survey results that we have just completed in the last week, have a chance to share some information from you that you have given to us so that we can give that back to you, and also to share how that will help shape what we're going to be doing going forward here in these weeks and months to come. I also want to remind everybody about our Ash Wednesday service that we have planned for outdoors in our Memorial Garden. That is going to take place at 7 p.m. on February the 17th on Ash Wednesday. And we will have our warming stations provided much like we did on Christmas Eve. We are watching the weather, and if we do determine that it is going to be too cold or if it is too snowy or a combination of both, we do have an alternative for a drive-through Ashes and Communion service. But please watch next week for those details, as we'll be watching that closely as to whether or not we can actually have the service or if we have to switch to our alternative plan. So please do keep that in mind. Also, that will begin the season of Lent, and then on February the 21st, through our online service, we will still be having our service of baptismal renewal as a part of that. So we want to encourage you to join us for that service on February the 21st, the first Sunday of Lent, as we get ready for that season and leading us all up to that important day of resurrection on Easter Sunday. I want to take a few moments here to talk again about Black History Month, but also in what we have just celebrated as a culture yesterday, with it being Super Bowl Sunday and having Super Bowl 55. Many of us were tuned in yesterday, if you're a sports fan like me, because I wanted to see the game first and foremost. But many of us were tuned into that for a variety of different reasons. Now, some of you are doing it because you don't necessarily care about football, but hey, those commercials are funny, and so we want to watch through and see what happens there. Some of us like the halftime show, and so we tune in for that. Some of us do it just because we wanted to see if Tom Brady was going to win that 7th championship, which, as anybody who watched the game yesterday knows, he did. Spoiler alert there. Some of us just have it on because, well, it's the thing to do. It's on. Others, of course, couldn't wait for all the hype to be over, but regardless of whether or not you like football, one cannot ignore the cultural event that is the Super Bowl, and it goes way beyond a football game. And the fact that this is more than just a football game is not lost on anybody. It's not lost on me. And this year especially, we have noticed it has not been lost on the National Football League itself. One of the biggest things that I am taking away from yesterday's game, and probably will remember the most of anything else, was the opening ceremonies, which this year had a very remarkably different tone. Not just because of the pandemic, but with all that has happened in this country over this past year, including the issues surrounding race, particularly with the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and others, and the Black Lives Matter movement getting its resurgence with all of the controversy that was brought on upon that over the last couple of years, but especially now with the demonstrations that happened over the past summer. It was clear that the league not only had to acknowledge these struggles, but also clearly had to make amends for the sins of its past, some of which have occurred even very recently with the issues around Black Lives Matter and former quarterback Colin Kaepernick and the fallout that had happened because of him taking a stand. I personally found those opening ceremonies that honored the contributions of African American athletes, celebrated diversity, but also acknowledged the racial issues that we still face in this country, even in the midst of a sport. I found them moving. I found them meaningful. And they still, while they have an agenda, they made a good first stride in terms of using this large platform that the league has to try to make amends and to raise awareness. I was particularly moved by singer Alicia Keys in her singing of the hymn, "Lift Every Voice and Sing." If you are not familiar with that hymn, it's number 519 in our United Methodist hymnal. And we have actually sung it many times here in worship. But more commonly, it is referred to as the Black National Anthem. This hymn was written by James Weldon Johnson, who was the first African American to pass the bar exam in the state of Florida, among other accomplishments that he had as well. He was an author, he was a teacher. In fact, he was part of the diplomatic corps, and he eventually became the executive secretary of the NAACP. Now, this hymn ended up being written for a celebration of Lincoln's birthday at a high school in Jacksonville, Florida, and it caught on from there. He started off writing it as a poem, but later on turned it into a song, and he asked his brother, Jay Rosamond Johnson, to write the music for it. And it was sung at also the former Zion Methodist Episcopal Church, which is now Ebenezer United Methodist Church in Jacksonville, where their mother was a choir director. Now, all of this trivia is not just to focus on our United Methodist connection to this song that was sung and to say, hey, look at us. Rather, I think it is important for us to point out how the church, and how the United Methodist Church in particular, has had a hand in shaping the struggle that we all have been undergoing for civil rights in this country, and to seek justice for all people, no matter how that is done. And this song is a part of that legacy. That struggle, no matter what sins that our church has committed in the past, must not be diminished. And we, I believe, are called to share in that heritage and to celebrate this legacy of making things right. Especially right now as we continue to observe Black History Month here. This anthem represents an ongoing fight, but not out of a sense of lament, but out of a sense of hope that all people, and we particularly as God's people, can share. If you read the lyrics that are found, and they can be found in our hymnal, or you can look them up online, the lyrics of that chorus tell us everything that we need to know. Sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Now, no one opening ceremony can change all of the past. I know that. We know that. But it can be a step that leads us to a new future. A future where we work towards that goal of equality and justice for all people. So let us embrace that heritage. Let us embrace this hymn, this anthem, as our heritage. And let's keep that work, as the hymn concludes, true to our God and true to our native land, and being true to all of God's people, I would add, so that together we can continue and we can share in that goal of achieving freedom, equality, and justice for all people. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night for our town hall, and then back here next week for another edition of our Monday Minute. Have a safe week and be blessed.